and you may have had to re-register. So hopefully Carolyn will wait for a few minutes to start her talk so we can just make sure that everybody has that opportunity. We also apologise if you got 11 p.m. Email last night, but there's been some challenges, but hopefully most of it's been averted, and we're really excited to be presenting our first webinar, our first Lunch and Learn webinar. And maybe if you want to answer the Q&A, and maybe if you're online, tell us your name, where you are, and also maybe what you're having for lunch, or if you're in WA, for your brunch. This is the first webinar in a series going right through to April next year. Today, we've got the lovely Carolyn Dean, who's presenting all of the webinars, and also recently did a wonderful breakfast in Sydney on millennials. Carolyn is one of Australia's leading experts in dental marketing. She speaks nationally, and you may have gone to one of her wonderful talks. She has been named as the Australian Dental Industry Professional of the Year in 2018. And we're partnering with Carolyn through her My Dental Marketing to provide integrated websites, that utilise both e-appointments, e-forms, and explain from Dental for Windows. Websites are extremely important online, and are really, I guess, your window to your customers or your prospective patients, and also your existing patients as well. With websites, though, I mean, people's have about 7 seconds your website has to make an impact. So it's extremely important how it's presented, the content that's on it, and also that it's updated on a regular basis, and also things like that it's mobile friendly. But I'll now hand over to Carolyn, and she may just have a bit of a chat while we just wait for a few more people to register, given that you've had to re-register. But hopefully we will sort out these technical issues, and so the next webinar will be a lot more smooth. Thank you ever so much.
Hi everybody, so thanks for hanging on in there with us. As always, when you're using technology for the first time, there are often issues. So it looks like our webinar software has let us down, but hopefully that will be the only glitch of the day, and we will be able to fill your brains with lots of useful information on all things websites.
And I'd like to say hello to Jess and also to Hina as well, who are on the website, or on our webinar.
Thank you. So please, if you're logging in, we apologise for the issues that we've had today with you having to re-register. Pop into the Q&A box that's maybe at the bottom of your screen or at the top of the screen, and just type in, say hello, let us know that you can hear us. So while people are still logging on, I will just briefly go through what we're going to cover today. So we're talking about winning elements to a website, and what we're going to talk about is, or what I'm going to talk about is, what are those elements, why they're important, and how you can begin to implement them in your practice. There will be questions throughout the webinar, so please pop them into the Q&A box, and there'll be 2 slots where we'll answer your questions. And then at the end of the webinar, if people want to hang around, and I can answer some more questions, and you will get copies of resources, so the slides, ebooks, access to our Facebook group that I will tell you about in a minute. And for those of you that can hang on to the very end, we have got some very special offers for you from Dental for Windows. So whenever you see slides like this, please just add in any questions into the Q&A box, and we will be able to answer those later on. All good? Yep, just checking with the team here. All right, so we've obviously got limited time today. So what we have is actually a closed Facebook group. So it's Dental Marketing Secrets. If you do have questions, if they're not answered within this webinar, please hop into the Dental Marketing Secrets Facebook group, and I can answer any questions that you have there. So just go into Facebook, search on Dental Marketing Secrets. The header image looks just like that one. And so join up, say that you were on the webinar today, and me and the team would gladly add you in. Okay, so we're going to go for a bit of technology here. Are we brave enough? Yay, says everybody. All right, so we're going to have our first poll for the seminar. And let's see if we can get this working. Okay, so we want to know who you guys are. All right, so you should have a poll in front of you at the moment. That's it, and you're voting. Thank you. So let us know, you practice owners, practice managers, team members. This is great. Thank you very much. Okay, so half of you have answered. Keep going, guys. It's always good to see who's there, to see who else is on the webinar. Okay, a few more. If everybody could vote now, we're going to close the poll. 3, 2, 1. Okay. So welcome, everybody. We will obviously get more people coming on later, so that's a good spread. So normally we'd see pretty much those numbers, 30%, 30%, 30%. So welcome, everybody. Okay, so I want to start off the way that I always start off my seminars and webinars, is just talking a little bit about what I see in the industry at the moment and what I see as your challenges. So the reality is that it's never been so hard to run, manage, or own a dental practice. We're seeing increased competition locally and overseas. The corporates are coming. If you haven't seen them in your suburb, then I am sure that you will. Insurance companies are driving down prices. There is an oversupply of dentists. You guys have ever increasing operating costs. And on top of that, your patients are becoming much more savvy when it comes to your marketing and much more discerning. You know, you've got to remember that dentistry is a discretionary spend. And so your patients have the choice to spend or not to spend on your dental services. So when it comes to websites, and we're all here today to talk about websites, I see quite a few problems, all right? So you can imagine how many dental practice websites I look at on a daily basis. What I'm seeing is that many are outdated. They're not mobile friendly, so not visible or viewable on mobile phones. They're using stock images that do not add to the experience of the user, not integrated with online booking. So some critical tools out there that are just not integrated into websites. They're hard to navigate. You guys are finding it hard to update them. You might not have enough content on there for them to rank with Google. You might not have the right content to attract patients in. They're not configured for SEO. They're not configured to be searched on Google, and they breach APRA guidelines. So these are the problems that I will talk about and answer throughout the seminar. And I just want to ask another question. Let's see if we can work another poll. So just in terms of your overall practice marketing, how are you feeling? So are you feeling happy, neutral, unhappy, or you were just not sure? So in terms of your overall practice marketing, how are you feeling? Okay. If you're happy, if you're neutral. Okay, keep going. This is great. Thanks, guys. Good to see some more people online. Okay. Any more? We're going to close it. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thanks very much. Okay, so again, some of you guys are happy, which is great to see. Some neutral, mostly neutral, some unhappy, and some not sure. So again, that's what we're seeing across the board as well. Okay, so thank you for the poll. So the 7 elements to a successful dental practice website. I'm going to go through these elements in our time today, one by one. There will be a lot of information, guys, so I apologize in advance. I just wanted to give as much information as possible so that you guys can go ahead and go back to your practice with a lot of knowledge. So I'm going to go fast, but also remember that this webinar will be recorded. You can play it back and watch it at your leisure. So just a little high level on me to add to Damien, why am I here and who am I? So I am the Managing Director of My Dental Marketing. I have over 25 years in sales and marketing and 15 in the dental health and medical industry. And why do I spend my life traveling around Australia, giving seminars and webinars? Truly, it's because I need you guys to understand how to market your practice. I need you to really take back control. I'm really, really tired of listening to dental practices who have wasted time, money, and effort on marketing that truthfully you don't want, you don't need, or you don't understand. So I feel it's really important that you do understand how to market your practice in this very challenging environment. And as Damien said, I was awarded Dental Industry Professional of the Year award last year. I've written a book, Fully Booked, Dental Marketing Secrets. So this is basically everything that I know about dental marketing, and it's available on Amazon, on the My Dental Marketing website. In fact, anywhere that you can buy books, you can buy My Dental Marketing's Fully Booked. There is also an ebook that I've written that accompanies this presentation, which is how to choose the right website company for your dental practice. It goes a lot deeper on some of the things I talk about, and this will be sent to you all after the webinar, so thank you. Who are My Dental Marketing? We were established 10 years ago, and we are Australian specialists for dental marketing. We've worked with over 700 practices, and we were awarded the Marketing Industry Award last year and also the President's Award. So this is the highest award that any business in the dental industry can be awarded. So we were really proud of that. And this is some of the team. And why do we exist? We exist to help practices become fully booked, stay ahead of your competition, attract and retain those very important patients, and get back in control of your business. Okay, just hearing that more numbers are coming on, which is great. Thank you, guys. So how can we help with a practice? We can help a practice wherever you need the help. So we are a full service agency or a one-stop shop, and we can help a practice at any point in their patient journey. So wherever you are with your practice, whether you're starting out, whether you're expanding, whether you're getting ready to sell, we can help your practice there. And exactly what that means, we have a whole ton, as you can see, of services, everything from the foundations, logos, branding, signage, to your online visibility and patient communication. And then we do a lot of consulting and coaching. Okay, so looks like we're getting more online. Once again, if you've just tuned in, apologies for you guys. I know that you've had problems registering or re-registering today. It is the first time we've run these webinars. We have had a couple of technical glitches, so thank you so much for hanging on in there. And we are ready to go. So 7 elements of winning your dental practice website. So I'll go through one at a time. But first of all, why are we talking about websites today? Why in our first webinar are we talking about websites? Because quite honestly, it's your #1 priority. It's the first thing that patients will do when they hear about a practice. So they may have heard about you online, they may have found you online, or they may have heard about you word of mouth. But the first thing they will do is check out your website. Think about it. If I said, oh, there's the most amazing restaurant, you've got to go to it, you really should taste the amazing food, the first thing you will do is go to their website. It's the truth for your patients, okay? Your website is your most important tool when it comes to marketing your dental practice. And you have between 5 and 7 seconds to grab people's attention. If you don't grab them in 5 to 7 seconds, you have lost them and they will not return. And the reality is that your website is the center of your marketing wheel, okay? So whatever you do in your marketing, it should be referring back to your website. So if your website is broken, if your website does not reflect your dental practice, then you're wasting your time, effort, and money on all other aspects of your marketing. So this is why we're talking websites today. You may or may not be aware that 97% of new patients will look you up online. 97%. So you've got 97% chance of winning them or 97% chance of losing them, which I find quite a scary thought. And also the reality is, guys, they're not just going to be looking at your website. They're going to be looking at your competitor's website. Once upon a time, word of mouth, they'd hear about a practice, they would go ahead, they'd hop a line, or they'd just phone. That is not the case. They're going to be comparing you to other practices. So how does your practice compete? How do you look against your competition? So when you're thinking about your dental practice website, think about the goals. What do you want people to do when they come to your website? What do you want them to find? What do you want them to read about? What do you want them to see? Does it appeal? You need to think about your ideal patient. Is it attractive? Does it attract people in? Visually, is the design good? Is it on brand? Does it reflect your logo? Does it reflect everything that you're saying about your practice offline? Is it easy to navigate? And is the content right and easy to scan? So I'm going to talk about these in greater detail now. So design and navigation, number one. So from a very high level, your website design needs to be professionally designed. You're in a competitive environment, the corporates are coming, you need to have a professionally designed website. It needs to reflect who you are, what you're saying about your practice, what makes you different. Does it match your branding in terms of colors, in terms of team? Is it bright? Is it beautiful? And is it easy to navigate? So when it comes to navigation, it's really, really critical that people can find the information they come to. You've got to remember that people are at your website because they want to find out something about you and your practice. They're not there because they've got nothing better to do and they just thought they'd spend their evening browsing around some dental websites, okay? They are there to find out information about you. They are there because they want to book or they want to find something out. So you need to make it very easy to navigate. Very simple. Make sure that your website is structured in such a way that there's white space. I see so many websites that are so crowded, so much information has been pushed in there, and they're just confusing, and people honestly don't know where to go, which means they will click away. So you need to give patients clear calls to action, directions to find the information that you want them to find. So here's an example of a website that we've done with some calls to action at the bottom. So with designing this website, we decided that patients want to find out about the dentists, the services, they want to book, and they want to contact the practice. So 4 calls to action of the 4 things that this practice felt that patients wanted to do when they went to the website. So think about your website. What do patients want to do when they go to your website? And is it clear? Is it easy to navigate? So a really, really important element to dental website design are the images that you use. This is critical. You've got to understand that people are visual consumers. You think about social media, you think about the explosion of YouTube. All of this is showing that people want visuals. People consume visuals more than any other content out there. Okay, so your website needs to be visually appealing. It absolutely needs to reflect your practice. It needs to reflect what you're saying about your practice, and it needs to reflect your team. So we really, really strongly recommend that you look at the photos you're using and videos in your practice website. And something you need to remember is that images have an emotional appeal, and I'll explain about that a little bit more in a minute. So visuals in your website, they need to make you stand out. They need to make you look different to your competition. And a really important message here, guys, is you need to avoid stock imagery. So the reality is there are so many websites and so many pieces of marketing that use stock images, and there is saturation here. So your patients don't know the difference between a stock image, your stock image, and somebody else's stock image. They are blind to stock images. There is no emotional connection. So if you can avoid stock images, please do. So I'm going to show you some examples of websites we've designed to show how you can get a different feeling, a different emotion from these designs, all of which are using their own images. So this is a holistic dentist, a biodentist, and you can see it's, or hopefully you can see it's quite relaxing, gives you a feeling of who the practice are, the team, and what kind of welcome you may get when you get to the practice. This one is a little bit quirky, a little bit different. Again, you're getting a different feeling. Images are used to differentiate the practice. This one is quite cute. It's a play on the old or traditional image with the apples. So again, you'll have a different feeling of the practice. And this one is an example of a practice close to where I grew up. So hopefully I'm not offending anybody. The reason I'm showing you this is because it's obviously using stock images. Okay, people are blind to stock images. There is no emotional connection here. There's no reason for you to connect with this practice. You have no feeling of whether they're a friendly team, whether they're a big corporate. There is nothing here that differentiates. You know, look at the team photo. I don't know whether you can see this on my screen, probably not. The team photo, you know, is that the real team? Absolutely not. Your patients know that's not the team, so don't use it. So if you are using stock images, please look at them, think about them wisely, see whether it reflects your practice, see whether it reflects what you're trying to say about your practice. And then taking images to the next level, think about video. If you're using video, it can be an incredibly effective way of communicating very quickly how your practice is different and what you stand for. So there are two ways of having video. You can have the high quality office tours, or you can even do quick videos. You can have ones that you've done yourself. You know, with the advent of smartphones, it is very easy for you to produce your own videos. Both types of videos have their own place. Obviously, high quality, put them on your website front and center. But the quick videos, the ones you've done yourself, social media, blogs, email newsletters, they both have their place. And so some video ideas, use it to highlight your practice, virtual tours, treatments, interviews, team introductions, and then obviously patient education videos. So how you want to talk about your procedures, answer questions that your patients may have. Okay, so we're going quickly. So anybody that has questions, please pop them in and we will pause in a little while to take some questions. So thanks for putting your questions in. All right, number 2, and I'm going to speed up now because I'm aware of the time. So content. Content is king. You know, why have people come to your website? Why have they come to your website? To find out information. So I talk to so many practices that say, oh no, I don't want to have lots of information in my website. You know, people are there to find out information. So please don't think that you do not need information. You need information, but you need to have the right information. You need to have enough of the right information, and you need to present it in the correct manner. So there is an art to presenting the content in the right way. And you may or may not know that only 28% of your words on your website are actually read word for word. That's because people are there at your website, they've come to get the information that they want. So they are scanning, they are searching for the information they're looking for. So you need to structure your content to make it easily scannable. People are there to find out content. So here's an example of a bio page on a website. And I'm guessing that a few of you out there have got bio pages that look just like this. It's a whole ton of text that truthfully nobody is going to read and nobody wants to read. It can't be scanned. People can't access the information. There is a simple scientific way of structuring your content. And this is it. So remember, we'll give you a copy of the slides. We'll give you a copy of the webinar afterwards. So you can look at your content and see whether your content is structured in this way. But use the headings, use bullets, bold so that key statements stand out. Images makes it more attractive and appealing. Quote box, so pop out things that are really critical for that page. And a call to action. It aids navigation. It tells your patients where to go next. So it's absolutely critical that you have the right content and you have it structured in the right way. So again, people say to me, I don't want lots of content. I don't want to have one of those wordy websites. And I'm guessing some of you are probably sitting there thinking the same thing. The reality is you need to have enough content on there for you to rank with Google. Because if somebody is searching teeth whitening, Melbourne, and you don't have a page dedicated to teeth whitening, then people will not find your website. So you need to have content. Content is critical, and you need to highlight the content that is critical to your patients. So very quickly, there are 4 pages, the most important 4 pages on your website. There's a lot of content on these pages, but again, you will have copies of these slides. So the number 1 website page, no surprise, is the home page. So things have changed. You need to have your website longer in length. So your home page needs to be longer in content because the majority of people are actually going to be viewing your practice website on a mobile device. So they don't want to click around too much. They want to access your home page and find the information that they can find straight away. Longer home pages. Great images, we've talked about that. Really important to make that home page pop, to differentiate yourself. White space, again, we've talked about that. Good for navigation. And then obviously they're there for information. So what is the key information that you need on your website? Contact details, opening hours, team highlights, services, and booking information. So this is to test your eyesight, everybody, and see whether you can see this, but you will see that highlighted on this page is everything that I've talked about. White space, calls to action, information on the team, on the services. So just a little screen grab of a website we've done to give you an example. Okay, About Us, the second most visited web page. Have a look at your About Us page. People are buying from people. People are coming to a dental practice because they are possibly quite nervous and they want to know about you, okay? You are selling, a very personal service. So they really want to know about you. And if you look at your website stats, you will hopefully see that your About Us page is the second most visited page, all right? So again, photos of yourself, photos of your team, your staff, philosophy, what makes you different, your approach to dentistry, what makes you unique, what differentiates you from your competition, and something personal. Why did you set up the practice? And again, here's a little example of how your practice About Us page could look. Contact us. Obviously, hopefully, people are going to come to your Contact Us because they want to book in. So what needs to go here? A Google map, so they can find you, opening hours, a clickable number. So again, lots of people are going to be accessing your website from a mobile device. So can they just click on phone from your number? Online booking, I'll talk more about this. Can they fill in an online booking form and book directly into your appointments? Can they fill in forms electronically beforehand? And then whichever is your preference, contact form or an email address, and then obviously social media links. So again, a little example of how this might look, or how this ideally would look. And then the final one, your fourth priority, the 4 pages you should think about are your services pages, okay? Really important, 1 page per treatment type. So again, back to the example, if somebody's Googling teeth whitening, you need to have a page dedicated to teeth whitening. If you're a specialist in implants, you need to have a page dedicated to implants. You need to have a minimum of 300 words per treatment type, and it needs to be optimized for SEO. So there's a certain way of being able to take that content and make it optimized so that Google can read your content. And again, here's a little example of how a treatment page may look. So using visuals again, white space again, bullet points, headers, exactly what I said about how to structure a good page of content. All right, so I've blasted you with some more information. Please pop in some questions. Okay, great. All right, thanks for those of you that are adding questions in. Okay, all right, so number 3, mobile friendliness. And I'm guessing that this doesn't come as a surprise. The whole world is on their mobile. So quite honestly, is your practice website on a mobile? So the scary stats, 84% of Australians have a smartphone. So that is 84% of all Australians are on a smartphone. 90% are saying that their smartphone never leaves their side. How scary is that? We've all got our smartphones here in the meeting room, weirdly enough. Okay, and 53 hours are spent online on their mobile every week. Okay, so what does your website look like online? Does it look like dentist number 1 or dentist number 2? Please check how your mobile phone looks on how your website looks on a mobile phone. Absolutely critical. So you will hear the word responsive, and responsive means mobile friendly. So you need to know whether your practice website is mobile friendly. If it's not, people will not want to access your site, but also Google will rank you negatively. Okay, so you will be penalized if your website is not responsive, is not mobile friendly. So there is a very easy way of doing it, and it's a Google mobile friendly test. So all you need to do is go into your browser, type Google mobile friendly test, type in your domain name, your website URL, and it will give you a tick or a cross. It will tell you whether it works or not. So I highly recommend that you do that. Okay, so any questions there? All right, so I think we've got time for a couple of questions.
Yeah, so we have one from Manoj, and he would like to know if you offer photography services in WA.
We do offer photography services, and I can speak to our photographer. He does fly all around Australia, so depending on where you are in WA, then yes, we probably can offer that service.
And Mira has the question, I have signed up with my dental marketing to build a website. How much help do we get from them in terms of the content?
Okay, so again, it depends on which package you've purchased. So Mira, we'll have a chat afterwards, or I'll get one of the team to have a chat. But depending on what service you have, we have different levels of content editing and content writing. Okay, any others at the moment? All right, zooming on. So search engine optimization. Okay, and this is joke time. So where is the best place to hide a dead body? On page 2 of Google. Okay, you know, the reality is you can have the most beautiful website, but if nobody can find it, what is the point? So it's absolutely critical that you know about search engine optimization. You also need to know that 93% of all internet experiences start with a search. Okay, so that's saying that only 7% are coming directly to your website and typing in your URL. So the majority of patients coming to your website are coming there because of search. So search engine optimization is something you need to understand. In my book, there's a whole chapter on this, and truthfully, it was the chapter that I wrote last because it is quite a complex conversation or an aspect of marketing. So what search engine optimization is the process of optimizing your website to get organic or unpaid traffic. Okay, so what does that actually mean visually? It means, how do you get in that third box, okay, when you put in search? So this is St. Leonard's Dentist. So organic search engine optimization is how do you rank your website so that it gets in this third area. The first two areas, quite honestly, you pay. You pay to get into that area. So this is how do you get your website ranking in this third area, the free area. And in other seminars and in other webinars, I can go deeper into this, but for this one, I'm going to go very high level. But in three high level steps, you need to think about how your website is optimized, what the links are, and how often you are updating your website. So website optimization, we've talked about this. You need to have the right content and it needs to be optimized. Mobile friendly, obviously you'll get penalized by Google if your website is not mobile friendly. And fast loading, so the technical side needs to be optimized, the images need to be optimized, and it needs to be in a great hosting environment. So that's the foundations. So once you've got a great website, you need to then think about your links and building your links outside in the World Wide Web. So you need to think about listing your website on good websites. So I know that the guys at D4W offer a service which is patient discovery, which enables you to list your website on some of these great websites. Okay, then you need to build your links further afield, sharing them on social media, posting email newsletters. So that's the next one. So great website, great links, and then you need to monitor and you need to update. So this isn't something that you do once, you need to do this on a regular basis. So the content on your website needs to be updated on a regular basis. And how we recommend you do this is by using blogs. You also need to carry on building those links, send out social media, or post on social media, send out those email newsletters. So in a very, very high level way, that is the best way for your practice to rank on Google. Again, put in any questions, we can answer them at the end. Okay, number 5, connectedness. You need to understand that people are time strapped, okay? Think about it. Our lives are so busy at the moment and everybody wants to be connected in a digital world. So this means that your dental practice needs to be connected in the digital world. Your patients want fast, convenient, and instantaneous interactions with you and your practice at the time that they want, okay? Once upon a time, you could take bookings over the phone, and that was okay. But you've got to understand that phone calls are now a thing of the past. 61% of people are saying that they will change providers to one that's got the ability to book online. Okay, so this is critical, guys. You need to offer online bookings. You need to offer online forms because people want to book with you when they are ready. Okay, and that between the hours of 9 to 5 is not the case anymore. So again, think about online booking, think about e-forms, you know, talk to your practice management guys, see what they can do and make sure that you sign up and have them integrated into your website.
Hi Carolyn, Damien here from Centaur. And the great thing with your websites is they come integrated with that right from the beginning, don't they? So e-appointments and e-forms,
Absolutely.
they can get one package and it's already integrated for them.
They do indeed. So all of our websites, as Damien said, are fully integrated with e-forms and e-appointments, which means that it's set and forget. You turn it on, happy days, your patients can connect with you instantly.
And e-appointments is connected straight into the D4W appointment book. So it allows you to have visibility on those bookings straight away, which is fantastic, I think.
Absolutely. Great technology. Okay, so if you have any questions about that, pop them in. And again, if you want to find out about any of these services, we can also arrange for Dental for Windows or my dental marketing to contact you. So again, if you pop questions in, then we can make sure that this happens. So I'm going to get technical with you guys, and I apologize for this, but it's actually critical that you understand the back end of websites. It's not all about looking pretty. It's not all about the images and the content. It's actually about how your site is technically built. Okay, I talk to so many practices that they get a website and it's built by somebody offshore that's gone out of business, and they're stuck with a website that they can't change. They're stuck with a website that's out of date. They're stuck with a website that they don't actually know what to do. So you need to be able to change your website easily. It needs to be optimized for SEO, and you need to be able to track that. Your website obviously needs to be secure, and it needs to be managed on an ongoing basis. So these slides, I do recommend that you talk to your website developer about, because they should be able to understand this language. Okay, so I guess these slides are here for you to be able to take them to your website, guys, and make sure that your websites have been built in the right way. So how do you change them? They need to be built with a content management system. So this is the back end. This is the engine of how websites are built in the modern day. I do recommend WordPress. It's the #1 content management system in the world, and it enables you to be able to easily change the content of your website yourself. Your website designer should be able to offer you training and support on how you can change your website. And also, if they're really nice and really good, they might be able to help you change the content yourself or do it for you. Okay, so the second one is tracking your SEO. So we've talked about SEO, we've talked about how important it is, but you need to know whether that's working. So you need to have something called Google Analytics, okay? So this is Google's way of tracking your website, and you need to have it installed on your website, and you need to have it reported. So you need to receive regular reports on how your website is doing. Your website needs to be secured. Okay, so there's a thing called SSL certification, and your website needs to have it. If not, you're going to get penalized by Google again. And probably if you look in certain browsers, at the top of your website is going to start saying this website is not secure. Okay, and especially when we're talking about e-forms, we're talking about Google Forms, we're talking about patient online booking, your website has to be secure. So make sure that your website is SSL certified and it has security plugins installed and updated. And then the final one is, you need to have your website managed in an ongoing environment. So it's not a set and forget anymore. The technology that are used with websites change, okay? You need to make sure that your website is updated, it's backed up, and that you can get access to somebody to help you with your website if there are problems. So a few technical slides, take them, talk to your website designer. Please put any questions you have in there, and I'll answer them the best that I can in the time that we have left. Okay, so the final one is APRA. Everybody loves APRA. It's always a hot topic in my seminars, but you guys need to know this. You need to know that APRA are actively auditing dental practices marketing. Okay, the Royal Commission has sent government organisations into a flurry of activity, and we are seeing that APRA is on the hunt. Okay, they are making sure that practices are now advertising correctly. They are following the guidelines. If you get audited and if you are in breach, you will get a letter that says you have 60 days to fix your problems. If you are a practice that has a website that's out of date, if you are a practice that has a website in breach, and that your website guy has gone out of business and you don't know how to change your website, you could be looking at a $5,000 or $10,000 fine, okay? and even worse, a court case. So it is critical, guys, that you understand this. I'm going to show you the 4 areas that I see almost on an hourly basis of where websites are in breach of APRA guidelines. So I'm giving you a heads up so that hopefully you can cut this off before you get audited and fix your marketing. So number 1 is I'm seeing images that breach the guidelines. So you are not allowed to use treatment photos that are not treatment photos. These are obviously photoshopped images. These are obviously not true treatment photos. These are in breach. If you are using these in your marketing, if you're using them on social media, if you're using them on your website, get them off, take them away, okay? These are in breach. Testimonials. So I see 2 ways the practices are in breach for testimonials. One is asking for reviews. So, hey, please write a review. It would be great to hear from you. Breach, guys. Okay, you'll get reported. You will get a letter from APRA. Please don't do it. And the second one for testimonials is using testimonials in your marketing. So I see them on websites all the time, see them on social media. You are not allowed to use testimonials in any form of marketing. So please do an audit, take them down. And then the final one is the wording, and APRA are now going into dental practice websites and they are looking for words that are incorrect. So if you are talking about that you are a specialist, specializing in, or you have a speciality in, or specialized in an area that you are not a certified specialist, that is in breach of APRA. Okay, so you can't say that we specialize in teeth whitening. Okay, if you are not a specialist, then you cannot use those words. So again, you need to audit your website and you need to make sure that those words are taken out. Otherwise, you're going to be in breach. And the final one, so many websites are using promotions where the terms and conditions are not clear, or there are no terms and conditions, or you have time-limited offers. Okay, so those are the most common breaches that I see. It's my gift to you. Your hour today may have saved you $5,000 or $10,000, so please audit your marketing. Okay, so we have gone through really, really quickly the 7 elements of your dental practice website. We will talk more, so hang on, about some offers that we've got today. But I'd love to hear, what do you guys think about your practice marketing? Sorry, your practice website. So final poll of the day, if I can get it working. Come on, technology. Oh, here we go. Okay, final poll of the day. We were going so well. No, doesn't. I'll give it one more try and then I'll give up. Can't get it to show. Okay, so think about it. Think about how happy you are with your website. You know, is it easy to change? Is it up to date? Does it work on mobile? Have you got online services? You know, and is it better than your competition? Does it look and navigate better than your competition? So take a critical look at your website. Think about the goals. Think about what you want to achieve. Look at your images, review your content, make sure it's mobile friendly, and make sure that you speak to a professional about how technically it should be set up. And I want you to remember that the longer that you leave your website, the reality is the bigger the gain your competition has. So please think about what you need to action from today's webinar. As Damien said, we are running a whole year's worth, in fact.
Over a year's worth, in fact, all the way
webinars.
to April next year.
My goodness.
Yes.
So we are running them on a bi-monthly basis. The next one is on the 13th of August, and it's all about social media.
Yep, and we know we've had some challenges with registering today or re-registering, so hopefully we'll have those all sorted out for the last one, so it'll be a lot smoother. So thank you all for your patience, really appreciate it.
Okay, so thanks for hanging on in. I just want to briefly talk about Quick Start websites. So as Damien said, we have jointly developed some websites that are fully integrated with the tools from Dental for Windows. And after 10 years of being in business, we know what it takes to have a website that converts. So the setup price for these quick start websites is $2,749. They are fully customized to your brand. So your logos, your color schemes, your images, they are designed to have those calls to action to convert visitors into patients. They are fully responsive. They work on mobile devices, integrated with e-forms, e-appointments, and explain online. Calls to action throughout. Pre-written content, so you don't have to think about the content, you don't think about SEOing that content, so we've got 30 pages of pre-written treatments, all of which that have been optimized for Google, and the great thing about this is we can have your website done in 2 weeks. Hurrah, shouts everybody. And we have a dedicated team of awesome people to support you through that process. On an ongoing basis, it's $199 per month. And this includes content changes. So if you want to change your content, we can help you there. It's unlimited storage space, unlimited support. And you get access to your content management system, which is WordPress. And trained in that, you have all the security I've talked about. It's on premium hosting and it is ongoing maintenance and upgrades. And today, I'm happy to say that we can offer 1 month free if you sign up for a quick start website before the end of financial year. And along with that, Dental for Windows are offering 1 month free again before the end of financial year for e-appointments, e-forms, and Dental for Windows marketing. So if you are interested, there's a poll at the end to fill in if you do want to be contacted. If we can get the poll working. Remember, we will send out the slides, we will send out the ebook to you all, and if we do have additional questions, please hop on and join the Facebook group. So what I might do is do the poll first, see if we can get that, and then we'll go to any more questions. Come on, technology.
Yeah, just contact your state sales manager if you're interested in e-appointments, e-forms, or the websites, and they can then give you all the details of that, and then organise a demonstration. Or you can call Central Direct, and we'll put you onto our inside sales specialists to be able to do that.
We will also send an email out after this, which will have a form attached that you can fill in if you do want to know more information.
That's right, Carolyn.
That's okay.
Okay.
So we've got there's my contact details, so you can grab those. Just so we've got a few minutes left, so I can take some more questions.
I have one question just for dentists in general. I mean, if I've got an existing website, I'm not sure if it's great or it's not that great. How do I know if it's successful? How do I benchmark it? Okay, so benchmarking it, assess everything we've talked about today, see whether it measures up, and if you are still not sure, then please call us. Phone My Dental Marketing. We can arrange for somebody to have a look at your website. We can give you an assessment, and we will honestly tell you, what's working, what isn't working, and why. So we can talk through everything that we've talked about on the webinar today. So if you aren't sure, then please call the office or email My Dental Marketing, and we can arrange a time to have a look at your website. So thanks for that, Damien.
Okay, so we have a few questions. Just wanted to know what the link was to check if your website was mobile friendly again.
Okay, so it's the Google Mobile Friendly Test. Okay, we will send these slides to you. But if you just go into Google and type mobile friendly test, it will bring up the website. And again, I can actually, if one of you guys take an action for me, I'll actually record a video and put it on the Facebook group.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so Rob would like to know, how often do you need to post blogs?
Okay, so in an ideal world, post blogs as often as you can. So I would recommend a practice at a minimum would post a blog on a monthly basis, and make sure that that blog has been written with the SEO rules, with Google rules in mind. Make sure that that blog is talking about one of your treatment types and is optimized to your treatment type. So don't put something generic in there about, oh, I'm trying to think, you know, why at Happy Smiles Dentist we like Harry Potter. Okay, it needs to be why at Happy Smiles Dentist we we are offering new services on teeth whitening. So it needs to be about something, a treatment type that you are offering and written to that treatment type. So once a month, optimized to Google, minimum of 300 words.
Okay, so Dr. Andrew Johnson wants to know, are timeframes for promotions not allowed, or is it as long as they are stated, are they okay?
Yes. Okay, so correct. You need to put, so you cannot put time limited offers on any medically related promotion. Okay, so promotions need to have clear terms and conditions, number one, and they cannot be time limited. Okay, you cannot put an expiry date on any health related promotion. So thank you for that question, and I apologize that my slides weren't clear. So good pickup.
Mira would like to know what happens with the website that has been made by another company. They have been sent an email for renewal. So I'm guessing Mira wants to know is if she wants to have you look at her website, what happens with her previous website.
Okay, so if you're in a situation where your existing website is due to expire or due to go onto a new contract, talk to us as soon as possible, because obviously with the quick start websites, we can turn them around quite quickly if we get your information. You know, this is a perfect time. So if there are practices out there that are looking at renewals, it's a perfect time to address the questions that you have on your website. So give us a ring, we can talk that through and we can work out a strategy that's right for your practice.
And Ronald would like to know about Google reviews. So I heard that we cannot, reviews we cannot control or delete is okay, such as Google review, whitecode.com.au. Is he right?
Yeah, absolutely spot on, Ronald. So anything that you have control of, APRA guidelines say you need to remove. So such as Facebook reviews. You are in charge of your Facebook pages, therefore you should, to apply the APRA guidelines, is you need to I've got my words muddled up. You need to remove those reviews, okay? Anything that you do not have control of, such as Google, there is nothing you can do about it. They are there forever. You can't remove them. So those are not in breach. Okay, but just to reiterate, you cannot ask for reviews and you cannot use reviews in any forms of marketing.
Okay, so that answers Siani's as well, wanting to know if they can ask for reviews on social media, so Facebook and things like that. So
no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, you cannot ask for reviews.
And Kate just asked, do APRA look at dental Facebook pages?
Oh, yes, they do. APRA is looking everywhere.
Siani has also asked, can you say that a dentist has a special interest in?
I would be very careful about using anything that has the word special, in truth. I would say I would remove or change that word to be, you know, a passionate interest in, or a personal interest, or a professional interest. You know, there are words that you can use. I would just steer clear of anything that looks or sounds like a specialist. It's just not worth the risk, guys.
And Na has asked, do you have any statistics on how many patients use social media as a means of connecting with a practice?
Good segue. Our next webinar will be on social media, so tune in and we will bombard you with a whole ton of stats on social media. So yes, absolutely.
And then, yeah, and then the last one was just from Na saying, with the photos, does that include stock photos?
Okay, so
I think they're asking in regards to when you have the comparisons with stock photos.
okay, so if you can add a bit more to that question, that would be great, and we can answer that. So stock photos we do not recommend. Stock photos, as I said, people are blind to stock images, and so we do recommend that you stay clear. Something on own images, having your own professional images, that's really important, is that patients, when they see a professional image of your team, of your practice, they will recognize the practice when they first walk in. Okay, so if they've seen a photo of your team, of your uniform, of your reception area, if they're outside your practice, when they first turn up to your practice, they will have an emotional connection and they will feel more relaxed. Okay, and who out there wouldn't want to be more relaxed, or patients to be more relaxed when they visit their website?
I suppose customers are looking for much more of a real experience.
Absolutely.
And an authentic.
Yeah.
And that's what comes out if you do real photographs.
Yes.
So they were asking about stock photos for teeth whitening.
Okay, so using stock images for teeth whitening, as long as they are not the Photoshop before and after, okay, then they are okay. All right, but do not use treatment type before and after that is obviously not a treatment type before and after.
But for those, you'd really have to have them authenticated, wouldn't you?
Yes.
You'd think from whoever has provided them, like a Zoom or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
To be really,
yeah. So get them from your provider. So if you're doing Zoom, exactly. So true treatments.
And that's it.
That's it, and we've almost finished on time. So thank you very much, guys. Apologies again for the glitches with the technology. We will get the slides out to you. We will get the ebook out to you. If you do want to know more, contact My Dental Marketing or your rep at Dental for Windows, and we would love to see you in August. And I think Damien's got a couple.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody who's a Central Dental for Windows customer for taking out from their busy either lunchtime or mid-morning if you're in WA, and thank you very much. And also thank Carolyn, who's given us some wonderful, insightful and relevant information which I think we can all use. And we're looking forward to partnering with Carolyn with this series of bi-monthly webinars. And also, for everybody throughout Australia, we'll also be bringing you our road shows, which should be coming to your capital city later in the year. And thank you very much, and have a lovely day.
Thanks, guys. Bye.